Greetings, YouTube. Do you know how I can tell someone's a bigot? They attended this event last November 2nd. It says, Sunday evening, some of the most prominent organizations that work against LGBTQ equality joined together in Houston, Texas to rally in defense of religious freedom. And yes, there are quotes on that. The event included screenings of parts of One Generation Away, Santorum docudrama comparing the plight of American Christians to those suffered under Nazi Germany, and Duck Dynasty star telling Christians that equal rights would lead them to serving prison time. Meanwhile, Houston's LGBTQ community countered with Positive Impact Day collecting winter clothes. And I'm going to put a link to a Metafilter discussion about this, as well as 3 links leading to other articles. One of them has a wonderful image of a woman that is brandishing a shirt that says, "We reserve the right to refuse service to homosexuals," which is an explicitly discriminatory, prejudicial shirt, which violates the Constitution because it violates the whole 14th Amendment concept. You know, you can't target people as a specific group kind of thing. Fair access, free trade, you know, all these ideas that are wrapped up around America. Well, yeah, that shirt right there, that's whites only. That's what that is. That's a whites only sign, folks. And the fact that they don't notice that, the irony there is always endlessly interesting. And you have the Duck Dynasty asshat Robertson going on about the fact that he feels that equal rights would lead to Christians being arrested. He seems to be unfamiliar with the first of the amendments, which guarantees him religious freedom, that the state, the government cannot endorse a religion nor deny the existence of one. Just has to be religiously neutral, which is what we call a secular state, amongst those of us that are probably a smidge more literate than Mr. Robertson. And then we have the article that deals with the drive for collecting clothing and things for homeless LGBTQ youths that were being done on the Positive Impact Day as a counter event to this hateful organization that was on the 2nd. I'm constantly fascinated by these folks. Really, I am. That when they are told that other people will enjoy the same rights and privileges that they have always enjoyed in America, that somehow that means they're losing. That this is an explicitly zero-sum game to them. For every right that someone else gains, it means that they must lose a right. They aren't familiar with the concept of a win-win situation. That when someone else gains the same right that they have, it just means that there are 2 people who have the same right. Equal rights. They don't seem to understand that there is no zero-sum process. That there isn't a limited supply of equality. And in fact, if equality works the way it's supposed to, there's an unlimited supply of equality. It's kind of like love. I like to think of love as one of the things that violates the laws of physics, because the more you give, the more you get. It's really quite pleasant. It took me a long time to figure that out. Not as long as it's taken these folks to figure that out, however, because they seem to be absolutely unfamiliar with the concept that the more you love, the more you get in kind. Because these people aren't about love. They're about spreading prejudice and discrimination and bigotry. They're about spreading hate. And they're appealing to the persecution complex which is built so deeply into Christianity in America. They have convinced themselves that they are an oppressed minority, even though when they are the majority, and 78% of Americans think of themselves as some variety of Christian. That's a pretty solid majority. Ask any politician what they would do if they could get 78% of the voters to vote for them. They might just die of a heart attack from pure joy. But no, to many Christians in America, being part of the 78% majority is viewed as a persecuted minority. That's not how that works. When you're telling people that you want the right to exclude them from legal protections, want to exclude them from business transactions, want to exclude them from housing or holding jobs or teaching or all the other things that these bigoted organizations want to exclude Americans from. Well, that's just kind of sad now, isn't it? They just don't seem to get it. No one's taking anything from them. They are not losing one iota of rights. All of them are still present. They still have the right to practice their faith as they want to. They always will. That's what we have the First Amendment for. Sadly, the First Amendment also doesn't have a provision that says we are protected from religion as a nation. Kind of wish it did. We should be able to say that we're protected from. We have the right to be protected from religion, as well as the right to practice it. But that's just me. I'm not a fan of organized faith. I'm a firm believer that it's an individual practice. In fact, if I remember correctly, didn't someone in the Bible say you're supposed to pray in private? Isn't that supposed to be a private practice? I don't know. I'm not a biblical scholar. Maybe someone can correct me. So go check the articles out. They're good. And make sure that when you encounter these things in person, online and in the real world, that you make sure that the people saying these things understand that they're being bigots. That they are intentionally persecuting people because they want to. That they are in the majority. And they've enjoyed that majority and the rights and the privileges that came with it for a very long time. And all that we are asking is that everybody have the same rights. That everybody be treated equally. To me, that's a really marvelous idea.